Hello again from Central Virginia on this eve of the winter solstice. I'm so ready for the days to get just a little bit longer, but I'm also excited to have winter because it is a little bit of a downtime in the garden. And I want to go ahead and show you where my garden is on this solstice eve and kind of talk a little bit about what is ahead. I still have some tasks to do. As I said in earlier videos this year, life's just sometimes too chaotic and you just can't do everything at once. And so this year I took the pressure off trying to get my fall garden completely cleaned up and every bed prepared, but I have a lot of them done. So I'll show you what I've done. If you've been following some of my shorts and things, you can see some of that in little bits and snippets. But sometimes some of you out there I know like to have a longer look around and talk around the garden. So that's what we'll do today. You can see behind me, the garden is pretty much done, although there are bits of green popping here and there. I have some lettuces that are growing and my Brussels sprouts and cabbages are in, and my kale is doing well as well. So I've been enjoying those certainly in the last few weeks. Slowly but surely, I have been finishing up the garden prep on these beds. I am just astounded that this parsley has, it's still with me. It's been being used just about every single day. I have a few carrots in here. I've been picking them and eating them, but there's still a few more left that aren't quite mature enough. So we'll just leave them and see how I did finally go ahead and pull out all of the old basil that had dried and things like that. And so I finished up creating this bed. Now I see somebody's been digging around in here. So we'll just all right. So over here I've got my parsnips. I'll probably be pulling the rest of those for Christmas dinner or Christmas Eve maybe. I went ahead and chopped down the rest of these bok choy because they were starting to go to seed and I didn't want them just to seed and reseed this area. Now in doing so, I have noticed that this is called Shijam Sai, and it's a very winter hardy plant. So I'm just going to leave that, and I imagine that come as the days get a little bit longer, the sun comes back, we'll probably get some nice greens off of that. I'm truly astounded that this sage plant is still alive. Obviously the seeds have fallen off, but I thought it was supposed to die back all the way. It didn't. Over here, you can see where I've finished up some beds. Now, I do notice that I have some weeds coming up here and there, a little bit more than I'm used to. I think that's probably because it was my homemade compost, and it might be some things that were just in there coming up. But I can get in here easily and pull this out. We can also smother it by putting more hay down, which is what I might do. Usually the no-dig beds have very, very little weeds in them, and I suspect that these will actually get taken care of by the frost. Any rate, that happens sometimes. Over here is a little bit of chamomile. The big blobs of green back here are borage. I don't know whether they will continue to winter over and just come back a little bit in the spring. Here's where the nasturtiums finally bit the dust. And over here is my 1,000-head kale, which is doing just fine. I had put this one under this glass when it had gotten its coldest, but I think it's going to be able to survive now. It's gotten bigger. Although we've got a couple cold days coming and I may put it back. This one though is doing just fine. Yeah, so things are just, they're tucked in for the winter, and I'll be coming down here and doing weed patrol. Like this is a little clump of something growing there. Don't know. Just pull them out. It amazes me what can sprout. Like here is the winter cress just growing. This is a weed, but it grows, pops up everywhere. Here are some carrots that, I think the cold got them. So I may end up just pulling them out. I have eaten a couple of them, but most of these are not doing too much. Here's my brassica bed. You can see I've got broccoli plants that are still producing leaves, and I probably will leave a couple of those in there at least. I've got one broccoli crown back there. I might actually cut that for dinner tonight. The Brussels sprout plants are doing well. They've got some nice sprouts on them. And over here is my kale and some of the prize choy that's going to be going into a stir fry tonight. The choy is, that is. So I have things that, you know, frosted, like the calendula got gotten by the frost, of course. And I've got to come in here and clean up. This is one of my final projects I'd like to get done before we leave for the city. Just cleaning out this old blue basil, putting compost down, mulching this bed really, really well. Over here I have my straw and hay bales that I've been using to mulch down. I'll talk a little bit more about building beds in another video. My little orchard and the outer garden. Oh, there's not much going on here, I know. Not terribly exciting to see. Over here, I just dropped a video short about this particular bed. This is the no-dig bed that Sage and I made in September, and it is doing fantastically. If I dig down into remember this was about 2 feet of hay that was on top, and it's now really mulched way down. This was built with wood chips and alfalfa pellets and fish emulsion, and you can just see that we're getting really ready to plant down in there. That is going to be just gorgeous when it's time to plant it in the spring. On the outside, I've got some work to do still. I'm hoping that before I leave, before the winter gets too far away, we're going to go ahead and do wood chips in the aisles here and tidy up this area. I had built I've got my long no-dig beds here, and I'm trying to decide what is going to happen down here. I may end up putting more blueberries in, but I want to try to get this area kind of away from being needed to be mowed, because it's just too hard to get in as the summer progresses and things are growing. So here's a nice supply of my cardboard that I'm getting ready to use to work on that. And over here is where I move the hops plants. I did a video, posted that this week as well. And I move them over here on the southern end of my garden, the very southern tip. That way they're going to have their own little place to grow. And I think they're going to be much happier. Speaking of plans, I think then what I'll be doing is putting in an arch trellis here for the hops. That'll be with a cattle panel. It's a good 6 feet away from that growing bed over there. And what I think I'm just going to do, because I'm going to end up with the same grass problem here, I am actually going to extend this bed out to the edge of this trellis. And, you know, it can grow right alongside. I usually grow things like melons in this particular bed so they can spread out. And that way I'll have some wood chip aisle here. The bed will be 4 feet wide here, connecting up with the trellis. And then I won't have to worry about this grass. I'll just wood chip it down, and we'll be going into wood chip paths here beside the blackberries and blueberries, etc. I will probably end up putting something in this gap area because I have more growing space. Actually, I might end up putting in more blueberry plants, or possibly even an asparagus bed kind of going along the very outside, so it won't get too tall and shade out. But I think maybe some more blueberry plants might be nice growing in this area as an edge. Little lettuces I still have growing. Those will keep growing, I think, through the winter, and then when I'm in February, we'll have very nice lettuces. So I understand we're in for another Arctic blast coming tonight and getting into the next few days before Christmas. And then they said it's supposed to get a little bit more mild, with temperatures up more in the 40s and maybe low 50s after Christmas. We'll see. At any rate, I'm planning on taking a little bit of a hiatus while I prep for Christmas. We've got family coming in. Nathan will be coming back from college tomorrow, and then we've got lots of family coming in from different points over the next few days before the Christmas holiday. And so I think I'll be taking a little bit of a break from here until maybe right after Christmas, and then I'll try to put some things together hastily. Right now I'm just enjoying baking lots of cookies and planning all my Christmas meals and pulling parsnips and making stew and things like that. So I hope you have enjoyed this little walk around my garden, and do check back. Over the winter, I'll be posting different kinds of videos. I'll start seed starting in January. With some of that prep, I'll be interspersing the videos with some book reviews of some gardening books that I really like and I have enjoyed this year. I'll also be doing more cooking, etc., and enjoying the city life a little bit more. I'll be back and forth. I'll be back and forth as always, but we'll be based a little bit more there and others will keep hold down the fort here. So thank you so much for watching. For those of you celebrating the Christmas holidays, and for those of you who celebrate Hanukkah after, and Kwanzaa, and all those good things, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, and may all your good wishes come true. Take care.